Some of you guys may not be over 50, but you will be 50 one day. And so we want to talk about some conversations we've been having.
I choose peace. I pick peace. I'm like, what do you mean you pick peace? They would rather be single and have peace. That's what they say. Y'all know what the sad part about it is, y'all? This is the really sad part. These are 5 eligible good dudes. By all accounts, this is the guy that would definitely check your box
for the ladies, right? So we want to talk about when you get to a certain age, 50 or and up, are men choosing peace rather than relationship?
I choose peace. Man, that line hits different when you think about it. It's not about giving up or being lonely. It's about deciding life doesn't have to be constant stress. Think about it. Some guys have spent years dealing with drama, arguments, fake promises, or just nonstop work to keep someone happy. And then they realize, hey, I can enjoy my time, my freedom, my calm. And life still moves on. That's the thing. Men aren't afraid of relationships. They're afraid of wasting energy on people or situations that drain them.
I am convinced that these men just don't like women. They just don't like us. Not saying that they like men, but they just don't like us. Every time we point out like where a man is lacking, right? So it's like, oh, we want men to be more romantic and give us flowers. Their comeback will be like, why am I getting a girl flowers? They're going to die anyway. Okay, you don't like us. I saw a meme yesterday, and it was a man like, when you're having a bad day, and she sends you a selfie, and your day gets worse. Huh? Y'all really hate us. We say like, oh, I love a man that opens the door for me. Why would I open a woman's door? She got 2 hands. She could open her own door. You hate us. Oh, we love like the girlfriend proposals, and we love the decorated hotel room. Why would I be decorating? Yo, just say you don't like us. Just say you don't like us. That's it. And we'll just move on. We'll just move on. Y'all can stop pretending that y'all actually like us. We get it. Y'all don't like us. It's cool. We're going to find somebody that does like us. And then we find the people that like us. Y'all be mad. It's no winning. It's no winning.
Here we go again. Men don't like women because they don't buy flowers or open doors. No. Men don't hate women. Men hate being utilities. See, in the female mind, romance equals spending, performing, proving yourself. But ask yourself, what do men get back? Most guys today know they're only loved conditionally. I love you if you keep providing, if you keep entertaining me, if you keep doing tricks. That's not real love. That's a transaction. At the end of the day, a man doesn't want to be treated like a vending machine where effort goes in and crumbs of affection come out. He wants something real, not a performance test.
The reason that men say I'm staying single, which in other terms basically means I'm also willing to have a string of hookups that mean nothing to get my own needs satisfied, is that the reason that they do this is because they are not willing to face themselves. Any man that says, I'm staying single is because they do not want to be in a situation that is causing them to face parts of themselves that have been denied, that have been repressed, where they are not taking accountability for the way that they show up in relationships. And obviously, if they're not in relationship or opening themselves up to the right person, they're not going to have this mirroring. And so by isolating and saying, this is why men are staying single, it's just basically another way of saying, I don't want to face myself. Because unfortunately in Western society and sort of in the modern world, men are becoming apathetic, they're becoming more feminized. And when wounded feminine energy shows up in men, it causes them to lack accountability, to not want to take responsibility, to be flighty, to not commit to things, which is automatically a massive turn off to women that are in a healed feminine energy. And so the sorts of women that they would actually, thrive in relationship with, they're not attracting anyway, because they're not opening themselves up to the possibility that actually they're the ones that are responsible for the type of women that they're actually pulling in the first place. And so it becomes this vicious cycle. But when men say, that they're staying single as an act of, trying to control their circumstances, the reality is underneath that, they're feeling very much out of control. And because they don't have a language for communicating, what's going on underneath, because no man that is in a healed masculine energy is going to make this proclamation and decide that he's going to be single for the rest of his life. Because when you look at the way that obviously masculine energy thrives in life, it is to build, it's to continuously have something to move towards, to build some sort of legacy for self, and to feel as if they're creating a foundation, and building something. And so when you're saying, I'm cutting off my own growth, which is obviously what comes from being in a relationship anyway, they're automatically showcasing they're not actually in their masculine. Because to get to the end of your life and basically look back and say, I worked a job that was okay, that paid the bills, sat on my own money so I didn't have to pay anything, for women, and, got to the end of my life with a string of hookups. You look back at that as a legacy for a male, and the level of regret that would come with that is not going to feel good.
A lot of men are choosing to stay single these days, and it's easy to misread why. Most have been burned before, cheated on, taken for granted, lost money, or even lost custody of kids. Those experiences stick. Some men just want a calm, peaceful life without drama or constant stress. Walking away from dating isn't weakness. It's a way to protect your time, your energy, and your sanity. And here's the kicker. When men do step back, people start making excuses or shaming them instead of recognizing the real reasons. Sometimes the smartest, most controlled move a man can make is to walk away and focus on his own life.
There is no male loneliness epidemic. It is a loser epidemic. Men would rather be alone than to evolve and change, than to recognize, wait, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe there's something I need to change. If you can't get a woman because none of them want to be with you, maybe try and figure out why. Instead of making women the problem, saying that their standards are too high, maybe try and figure out why they don't want to be with you. What is it about you that maybe needs to change in order for a woman to want you? And they'll say, oh, there's no more good women left. Women are not like what they used to be. Women used to spend their days in the kitchen. Women only cared about taking care of the house and the kids. Oh yeah, and also women used to take our beatings. Women used to stay quiet. Women didn't complain. Women didn't think they could get better. Women didn't have confidence and self-worth and weren't able to speak up for themselves. And that suited you. That's the kind of person you wanted. If you love your mum's generation so much, cool, maybe marry one of her single friends. Women are not the problem. They have just woken up and realized they deserve better, that they don't actually need anything from these men, and they're only going to accept a man in their life if the man can make their life better. And if you cannot do that, you will not be chosen. If you can't level up and be the kind of man that women of this day and age want, you won't get to have a woman in this day and age.
This whole male loneliness is just a loser epidemic thing. Total gaslighting. Let me break it down. Women can say, I don't need a man, I'm focusing on myself. And that's called empowerment. A man says, I'm done with dating. And suddenly he's a loser who needs to level up. That's the double standard in full swing. The truth is, men are waking up to female hypergamy. Women want the top 10 to 20% of men. And if you're not 6 foot, jacked, making 6 figures with social status, you're invisible. So guys look at the cost of competing in that rigged game, plus divorce laws, plus the risk of being used, and they check out.
A lot of men today say they are done with dating. They are staying single. They're out of the game, kaputski, because they don't trust women. They don't trust women because women of today are fake. They have fake eyelashes, fake nails, fake hair, fake bodies, even fake personalities. They feel like women don't really love men, generally speaking. They see men as a means to an end. Just deal with men to gain something. And I guess it's similar when women say that they're done with dating because they don't like the nature of men, that they cheat, use women for their bodies, want women to stay in their place. Now men are saying they want to stay single because they don't like the nature of women, that they use men for their money, use their bodies in a different way, as work mules, change my tires, go paint here, move this here, lift this for me. So what are men asking for? They're asking for a little appreciation. They're asking to be loved for who they are, not what they can provide. They want to be seen. Now, is this unrealistic? Getting married, if they have resources and the woman decides she doesn't want to be married to him anymore, She could take half, even if she hasn't contributed to any of it. They don't feel it's worth the risk. Ladies, if you were a man today, would you date women today? Is it worth it? Do men have a point? Are they asking for a lot? To be loved, appreciated, not used, to be seen? What do you guys think?
What men are really saying is, I don't want to be treated like a utility. That's it. They don't want to be the free Uber, the free handyman, the free paycheck. They just want to be valued for who they are, not just for what they provide. But modern dating has turned into transactional love. Women expect the benefits of traditional men, protection, provision, strength, while also demanding the freedom of modern women. And when men say, nah, I'm not signing up for that deal, suddenly we're the problem. Here's the question no one wants to answer. If men are walking away in record numbers, maybe the contract is broken. Maybe it's not worth the risk anymore.
Look at this article I found today. The dangerous rise of men who won't date woke women. Pathetic. I know you probably can't tell, but I'm quite woke and very alert to social injustice. Woke discrimination in dating should not be tolerated. Also, who wouldn't want this? I mean, look at these bangs. They're perfect. Come to think of it, I've been single for the past 10 years, ever since I started free bleeding in women's marches. But what kind of man doesn't love that level of confidence? I don't even have that many dating requirements. I mean, he has to be a vegan, obviously, and he must have his pronouns in his bio. He must provide proof of vaccination and all his boosters, and he must wear an N95 mask or equivalent during sex, but forget about condoms because that's what abortion healthcare is for. He needs to be okay with the fact that I don't shave any body hair, but he has to be perfectly manscaped with the body of Chris Hemsworth. He also must be okay with the fact that I wear natural deodorant. It doesn't really work, but at least I don't have aluminum seeping into my skin. And last but not least, he must not like video games or sports. So I don't really know what the problem is. I'm a total catch. Did you ever think that maybe it's your attitude? Or maybe it's your irrational list of standards? What do you mean attitude? Also, I don't have to lower my standards for any man or anyone.
So here's the funny thing. When men have even basic preferences, like wanting a fit woman or someone who's feminine, suddenly it's toxic or misogyny. But when a woman makes a list longer than a government form, that's called empowerment. That's the double standard. Men are shamed for having boundaries, but women are praised for raising the bar. And here's the irony. Women think they're filtering out low-value men with these lists. But in reality, high-value men don't even bother applying. Because a man with options doesn't jump through hoops. He just moves on to someone who actually wants a relationship, not a contract.